Hi everyone, it's 28th of February 2021. I'm Burak from Trading Channels and this is the weekend video. So let's have a go at ES, the E-mini contract for S&P 500 first, as usual. The current action is quite a critical one. What I mean by that is the last week's action and closing it at a new low is alarming, to say the least. But there are still quite a few hurdles before bears can take control, at least for short to medium term. And I would switch from bullish to bearish if those things happen. So not only ES, I'm going to go through of course all the other indices as well. So first things first, let's have a look at this long-term one. And you can see here, these are the supports, resistances that were broken, back-tested, back-tested, back-tested. So this golden one is quite an important one, okay? And the current price action is relatively far right now, but it doesn't mean it can't get there and break it to the downside. And that would be a very important signal for a very deep correction. But if we look at a more closer, of course these lines, I'm not keeping them as concrete, like unchangeable things. While the price is acting, while the price is moving, I find while it's doing them, while things are happening, I find, based on my methodology, I find new supports and resistances sometimes, and I share it with the subscribers, sometimes with the public. But currently, the current lines and supports and resistance that I find are listed here. So the first one is the blue bottom band. First, you can see it held, okay, at the touch on Friday, and then from there on it really bounced all the way to 3,850. So this blue channel is a potential bull flag, okay, and this bull flag has to be, it's a potential. I'm saying it's not a real bull flag just yet. It has to be broken to the upside to be called a bull flag. But right now the bottom band is being forced, and if it breaks to the downside, that would become the failure of a bull flag, which would be extremely bearish for at least the short to medium term. And then we have this green bottom band, which is a speculative support so far. If it bounces from there, I would call it a support. And of course the golden bottom band later on. Okay, there is all sorts of possibilities right now, but the fact that last week was very bearish, and it closed quite in the red, and maybe tonight's opening would be even below this blue support, then things may turn quite ugly, at least for the short to medium term. I keep saying that I'm not turning bearish for the long term. Don't get me wrong, this is not the time to do that. I'm only giving you a warning what can happen. So there is this red internal support as well, so that is also a line that is kind of acting together with the green, okay? So this is a potential double support, and of course if it breaks to the downside, that is also a possible support. So for now we keep an eye on this level, on the blue bottom band, on this level, and that level is, let me show you, even give you a good kind of a number to focus on, and that level is 3,745, around that area, where I can see some supports may be happening. But first it has to come down from this blue support, okay? And of course if it recovers, everything recovers, and it breaks to the upside, then I suspect it's going to get to 4,000 during this run. And Dow closed last week even more scarier, I must say. And that the reason for that is this blue resistance held, and you can see from there on it sold off big time. This is, we basically bought this resistance break. Okay, there was a short-term resistance, you can see here. This was the resistance. Okay, we bought it, and then basically once it reversed, I closed the entire position because could have been a strong resistance, and that's exactly what happened. Sometimes it's not, but it's always better to close while you see the money on the table and while you see a resistance holding. And then this red support was broken. Okay, and that's also important. You can see it held quite a few times during the previous lows like this. Okay, but then that bottom fell off, right here on Friday. It fell off. Okay, fell off, and then came, I mean, if you look at the hourly charts, it bounced off the green support and then came back down. So I'm going to show you the green support that is long term from the March lows. And then we have the golden one. Okay, that green support held very short while, so that one bounced and then came back. That golden one is speculative support. Okay, so there is that. It looks quite bearish unless it really rallies and smashes the red resistance to the upside. Okay, that is also quite critical. If we see that happening, then that would mean bulls are taking over again. And of course, break of the blue resistance to the upside would be extremely bullish. But so far, the action suggests kind of a soft market going into next week. And Nasdaq was the front runner with the weak market action. It started at the green top band together with the golden one. It was very close to the golden one, and I was thinking 950, 13950. That would have been a double resistance, which I showed in the last week's video, but it didn't get there all the way there. It reversed earlier than that. I had hoped for a reversal right there to short it, but it started earlier. Okay, now the green internal support rail, right, this one, it held initially. You can see here it held initially, then came down and it broke it. Now it also back tested it, and that one held too. So that rail, it's a zone you can see here, and that zone is holding as resistance so far. So there are two options right now. It either really sells off all the way to the green bottom band, and even purple. I mean, if the green bottom band doesn't hold, the purple bottom band would be the next possible target, and that would make it a channel. Okay, and then from there on I would expect another rally to start. That purple channel is a speculative one so far. And there is also this red, I mean the purple channel, you can see the internals are very good. Okay, these internal lines are very good. So the purple internal bottom band would be a kind of a speculative support, but with good accuracy or good probability. There is another option where the golden top band breaks after the next touch, like comes back here and then there. Then it wouldn't be a channel, but it would be just a standalone resistance. So if it does that, then my target would be the red channel. That would look like a very, very nicely formed bull flag. So this red one is also speculative channel. Okay, this is how I kind of anticipate the market moves, by plotting lines and waiting for confirmation of those lines. I don't act before the confirmation. Okay, this is a very important aspect of it. So the green bottom band is speculative, the purple bottom band is, the red top band is, but they all have merit and they all have possibility to become proper channels and support and resistance lines. And you can see the red one, the internal, you can see here and there and there. That means if we get to the red top band, it will probably hold and then later on maybe break to the upside. But this is how I get prepared for the price actions. I'm taking my time because this week is quite important, and I think the cleanest, the most proper signals will come from Russell 2000 RTY. This is the E-mini contract. It's the E-mini contract. Now the goal, before the bounce, so this was the top band. This is the first touch. The second touch, before the second touch, I had put this line here, and I said this could become a bull flag, and if the blue bottom band holds, and that's exactly what happened on Friday. Okay, first it rallied, came back down, it rallied again, came back, it's coming back down, but now it is extremely important what it will do at the open and on Monday. So let's have a look at it here. You can see 3 touches on this bottom band, and another 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on the top band. So this is a very orderly bull flag, but it's a potential bull flag. Its top band has to be broken to the upside for me to call it a bull flag. Any action that would fail the bottom band, the blue bottom band, would initiate a big sell-off, okay, to target the purple bottom band at least, and this purple channel is the one to watch, and this purple channel's top band's break would already be extremely bullish for me. And if it does break to the downside of then it becomes, of course, the blue support, which already has 3-4 touches. Its breakdown would be quite bearish, at least for the short term. And what happens after that? If the blue bottom band breaks, then I expect the green bottom band, which is a speculative support so far, to be holding, and then the next run to start. Okay, that's what I would hope, or I would expect to happen by Russell 2000. FTSE, let's see, this is also extremely important action. The green bottom band is merely holding, it's like barely holding. Okay, so this green internals, you can see here, they were broken. And this green bottom band, the top band is here. If it holds, and if the red top band breaks, then there is big upside by FTSE. However, if we see this green bottom band to be broken, then we may see a really big slide all the way to 6,000, which would be the red bottom band. And here we have a small gap. Okay, that gap may get filled. And that gap was caused by this bull flag's breakout. Okay, so we may see a revisit of that level, just under 6,000, I think, before FTSE, comes back to the red top band and breaks it to the upside. So it is very critical what happens to this green bottom band. It is a very kind of a precarious situation right now. Okay, and DAX, last but not least, from the indices here, this red, blue resistance is speculative resistance. You can see here it's not really able to break this resistance, and maybe we see this one. Okay, so let me plot that one now. Okay, this here is a resistance that held. So let's put that in red, okay? And we have another support here, which can break. I mean, it's already breaking anyway. Look at this. This here was at the close, it was broken. Okay, so I'm expecting DAX to come down again. So if we see the long term, okay, those red lines don't look good, very good anymore, but you can see this green support line from here all the way from March. This is October, and then the last lows hold it together with the golden support. But if this green one breaks for good, then the next target would be the blue one, which already has 1, 2, 3 touches. And if this one the blue one breaks as well, then I suspect this gap to be filled. So next week again is extremely important for DAX, for these cluster of supports. So blue, red is broken, the green one and the golden one. So yeah, I know there's a lot of lines, but each line has its own merit, has its own important point. Okay, it's a different formation. So its oils is also extremely critical, and it's basically reversing right now. I can see the first red shoots. Okay, and the reason is this red broken mega bear flags backtest. Yeah, that happened last week, and you can see here there's also this declining resistance rail. Last week I posted this one and it didn't hold last week, so it made a new high, but it's still there. It's still there. It hasn't really broken out. It hasn't really gone back into the red broken bear flag, and that's why it may still break to the downside. And if we look at the shorter term action, okay, these triple resistance, which is the golden, the red, the blue, the red and blue I just showed, and this is the short-term resistance which held. And now if we see a dive to the golden bottom band, maybe another bounce and then break, then this would become a deep correction for oil. Natgas, as I had mentioned last week, okay, this golden top band's break was a fake, an epic fake, because of the weather action, whatever you call it. And then it came back to the green support, first bounced and then broke it, and then it broke the red resistance support. Okay, let's go have a closer look. You can see the red support was broken later on and even back tested. Okay, look at this. It's a nice back test. There is a gap here, but Natgas is notorious with completely ignoring gaps. So I don't trade really anymore with Natgas gap fill expectations. So now we have this blue support rail. We may see a dive to that and then bounce. And once it's broken, then I think Natgas will look very ugly again. Gold. This is what everybody is talking about. Now, I had mentioned about this double support at around just below 1700, and I can actually show maybe a more accurate number. This is 1707. That's the golden support, red, but then the green one is around, just below 1700. So I reckon there is a cluster of supports here between 1705 to 1695, and I think this support levels will hold, and gold will start a big rally to get to the red top band and break it to the upside. This is my expectation. Of course, this red one is a bull flag potential, and if it ruins this potential, then there is huge downside clearly. But if this red bottom band holds at 1695 or even slightly lower, if it really wants to fake it or something, but the ultimate level, I mean the good level, the sweet spot would be 1705 and then 1697 or something, and that's futures, okay, not spot. You can look at the same levels on spot by plotting the same lines that I have shown here. I'm not going to do another spot channel or spot chart right now. So again, silver also like extremely precarious levels. Why? Because this was the pole, and this looks to me like a bear flag right now. Yes, they are not parallel to each other, but you can see the top band held. That's the standalone resistance, and this one held, okay, and the green support, even though it has a kind of a damage, the golden support held, okay. But if the golden support breaks, okay, that's the fourth touch. If it does break, silver still has the risk to get all the way to the $22.50. I know, very, very unlikely, you are all saying, because silver is going to go to the moon, is going to go to $1,000 or something because of inflation. Doesn't matter. Price action matters. And if the blue bottom band holds, I would of course become a huge buyer to make this mega bull flag work, okay. And 3 touches on this would complete this bull flag, and then to have a big run to the upside. So watch out for last week's low, okay. If the last week's low is taken out, then I would turn very bearish on silver for at least the short to medium term, okay. Let's go to the Forex. I was hoping that euro would kind of honor this bull flag, okay. This is the green bull flag, but it actually did first, and then later on now the blue bottom band is breaking, and the action is quite bearish going into the green bull flag, okay. I always admit when I'm wrong, okay, and this price action tells me that the bearish US dollar at the short term may have to wait, okay, especially if this support, I mean potential support, doesn't hold. Anyway, we'll see it at the open, I guess. Okay, this is a very critical action. The red mega broken channel may get back tested at 119, and from there on I would be another buyer again. I don't think for the long term US dollar is becoming bullish or anything. That's not what I think. But for the short term, yes, 119 may be tested again. All right, and pound sterling is coming back for another back test on the green, and the blue bottom band, you can see how already has 2 touches. This level at 138.50, I think that's the level. Yeah, 138.35. That's the critical level for pound sterling. I mean, it all already reached 142. I mean, this is a massive bullish channel, and I don't think it's going anywhere. This is a tiny correction. I don't think it's a major low or anything, and I reckon pound sterling is going to 150, 145, 150 since this breakout. Okay, look at this beautiful long-term breakout, and maybe we get a backtest on that. So let me put this in black to give you a better perspective, and you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, and then broken, maybe we get a backtest. Okay, so I don't think pound is gonna dive too deep. Aussie dollar has been quite disappointing, I would say, because it was extremely strong after the break, but then this blue resistance delivered a major reversal, and this is kind of scary. I mean, yeah, I mean the break of the bull flag was good. Now it's coming back to the back test or the breakout level of this back test. So we will have to wait and see what can come out of this, but it certainly doesn't look good. it erased everything it has won in a very short period of time, which is kind of worrying, because I normally expect like this, corrections like this, and then move on. But this here is not a very good picture, to be honest. And you can see here we had, one second, here we had this blue support that is also broken, right? So I'm not sure how far this, how deep this can get, but looking at this, one second, let me show you how I would plot this one. Okay, the next support would be somewhere here, I think, if it wants to pull back all the way there by getting into the broken bull flag. Okay, or the backtest will stop here, and then we go to another high. And same thing with Kiwi. The break of the green, this interim resistance, was super bullish, which is why we bought. We covered half, but then I was at least expecting this backtest to hold, which it did for a very short time. Now it's gone back in, and we have this, one second, let me show you. Yeah, this is a mid pricing. Okay, yeah, this blue support, okay, that caused the most recent rally. Okay, you see 1, 2, 3, that's a perfect bounce, touch and bounce, and now it's coming there for the fourth time, and the fourth touches are usually the ones that break them, which is why it would worry me if it touches at for the fourth time, and it may break, and it really would then become very soft, very weak. So the reversal was triggered by this blue resistance rail, not at the top but at the interim resistance, and then this pullback has become quite a steep one. For me to, let's say, change my mind would be like the golden small channel to be broken to the upside. You can see 2 touches on the top, 2 touches on the bottom, and then its break to the upside would be bullish again. I hope it helps. It was a long video, but yeah, it is a critical time right now for everything, which is why I made a longer one. I hope you like it. Have a good rest of the Sunday. Take care, guys, and keep in touch through my trading channels, website, and Twitter. Bye.